Yes, y'all. Welcome into another episode of the Dumb Marks Podcast. It's your boys, your favorite Saturday brunch bunch. Jason got a mouthful of sandwich over there. You eating a Big Deborah? Pause.
No.
Look, you can't even say nothing. Pause. He's eating a Big Deborah.
Can you handle Big Deborah?
Yeah. Deborah got your mouth full over there. Look at you.
So look, I was fixing the mirror. I was trying to fix the window in post, so I forgot my sandwiches were sitting here. So I had to kill them before the show.
You come
I had to
before,
turn
you come
around.
before the show? Pause. That's the wild way
Who's
to
it
come
up?
on the show.
Who's it now? I just spin around over here, looking at the butt on camera, and I'm like, no, it's gotta
Pause.
pause.
What? What's happening?
What you do in your personal time is your business. When you're on this show, though.
Let the whole loaf of bread into it all, but
I'll just call it
pretty much.
I mean, first off, nobody ever makes a sandwich with the butt.
It wasn't the butt; it was the ends. But I don't know what to call the ends. The crust.
The
Call it
ends.
the heel, but
I
Ends.
call it the ends.
Whoa,
No,
we
like
got
the crust
heels,
around
we
the-
got ends, we got butts. What is
No.
wow,
You know the crust
right
on
now.
your sandwich. You know the crust around your sandwich.
Yeah.
A
Crust.
little bit drip off. You gotta lick the crust. And you gotta
I
refocus
hope
your
you are
sandwich.
clipping all of
Refocus.
this all of this right now.
He said-
Jason's on some wild stuff.
for
Where's
the young kids
Taquan
out
at?
there, Jason's giving you life lessons here today.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Troubleshooting from the top. When this happens, you do this. When this happens, you do that.
Y'all like y'all ain't never licked the sandwich.
I mean, I've eaten a sandwich before, but like not the way you described that. The sandwich
You
has-
just gonna let everything drip on you, huh?
that's. I
You
mean,
let the-
sometimes
yes.
I like
The peanut
drip
butter
on me.
one
Yeah.
jelly drip
100%
on you.
yes.
Drip,
Yes.
yeah, drip on me. Yeah, drip,
What?
drip.
Nah, I'm here. I can,
Drip, baby, drip.
I'm not gonna pantomime it, but I'm licking the edges.
I mean, forget the edges. You got to go right to the center. This ain't the Tootsie Roll commercial from the '70s. You got how many licks? We're right in there.
Yeah, the sandwich ain't never went astray on y'all.
That's why you got that one line of gray going through the beard. That's where everything runs off. It's that one line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back at it again. Hard to Kill edition this week. TNA is officially back. We'll get into that in a little bit here whenever we break down the full card for tonight's pay-per-view. A loaded Saturday with pro wrestling. We got the TNA, we got New Japan Battle in the Valley, GCW, AEW with Collision and Battle to Retain, or as they call it, Battle of the Belts.
And nobody here is watching that.
No. I will be I'll be on my TNA train watching TNA all night long. And that's the wrestling company, not the other TNA. So yeah.
I don't know. You mentioned the train, so I don't know.
Well, I just wanted to keep up with the theme of the show because
Yeah.
this dude throws on a Big Deborah shirt and a red pea hat, and it's like game over. He's a different guy. Like come with this
I said
energy
it.
every week.
I said it to Jason. I'll say it to you. What you do on your own time.
Very true. Very true. Very true. But all right, enough with the shenanigans. How we living? How we feeling? Everybody have a good week?
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
Getting there.
Getting there.
Donald could be better, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Getting there.
This dude's like he's like a second grader. Just yeah, just nonstop.
Every week.
Yeah,
Every week.
Walking up to the pencil sharpener, just all up in his.
It is every
The
week.
kid with the snotty nose.
Yep.
Snotty nose. Just,
The nose was just leaking this whole week. Just man, it was terrible.
Have you been 100% yet in 2024?
no.
No, not at all. Not once.
Start from the bottom.
Here you go. You can only go up from here. You can only go up from here. I'll tell you what, though, my man's
Not
had
at
enough antibiotics to survive The Last of Us. This guy.
Steve, pre-production, you were talking about a tree went down your backyard. Right now, Donald's on some stuff. He might be able to tear that tree down for you right now.
I know. Yeah. I was watching. watched end of Monarch Legacy of Monsters last night, season finale, and man, what a way to end that season. Hopefully they come back with it because it was an absolutely amazing show. But yeah, you got a little Godzilla, them gamma rays building up in you.
Yeah, I
Jason
do.
is
A
with his
lot
eyes closed. That is hilarious.
because he's frozen.
Or he just taking that nap after the meal.
Yeah, when he's done. All right.
Sounds like
Well,
a
whenever he
$6
comes
million
back
man
on,
who's gotta rebuild him.
yeah, we'll see what happens. He'll probably cut out and then jump back on in a minute. Who knows? But screenshot that because that'll go up next to the sweatshirt or the hoodie and the pants at the beach. We got classic Jay right there, sleeping. That big Deborah shirt is just tremendous. Like
I saw it, I was like, I gotta get it for him.
It's taking all the attention away.
yeah,
It is.
just screenshot that and send it over to Taquan on Twitter. So because he's not in the comments yet, and I need him to get here ASAP. So yeah, busy week. Although it was a busy week as far as like not busier than usual wrestling wise, but I enjoyed majority of the week. I had some stuff to pick out and gripe about. I'm not going to go on a Tony Khan rant. We're not getting into that unless somebody has that as their jabroni of the week later on. But no, for the most part, I'll say I enjoyed this week. I was so focused on getting to today because of TNA coming back and the excitement for it and the build up.
Is it like Christmas for you today?
Listen, they did a tremendous job this week with revealing the new belts for TNA each day and being in the news cycle each day leading up to the show tonight. Like, kudos to them for that different of a presentation to get people talking about you all week. I love the new belts. The only one I don't really care for is the tag team belt. I don't like the red strap. I would rather do without that.
Yeah.
I think the women's, the knockouts is probably my favorite just because of the white strap. And then I would go with the world heavyweight title after that. But the knockouts title and the world heavyweight title, they have a lot of similarities. So it's almost like they're putting it on equal playing field. Like sometimes you don't see that in companies with a men's and women's division. The women's belt looks a little bit inferior and it doesn't look like it holds up to the same prestige and look as the men's. But this one, there are a lot of similarities in both belts between the men's and the knockouts. It makes it feel like it's just as important of a title.
Pulling the WWE.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's one of the things I did like about WWE this year, that they kind of gave the similars. Yeah.
So before we dive in, kudos to everybody dealing with this crazy weather that's coming and that has
it's doing something every part of of the U.S. right now.
Yeah, it's
Canada
all
got
over.
hit.
So wherever you're at, be safe. Don't venture out. NFL's
let you go to that Chiefs game. Oh man,
NFL's catching a lot of flack for that.
Yeah. Mid -39 with the wind chill.
Yeah.
That is crazy to sit out there to watch a football game.
Yeah. And then did you say, obviously, Steelers, right? But did you see what the Bills sent out like a press release to people?
Yeah, $20 to come shovel.
To show up to the stadium at 10 p.m. tonight. They'll pay you $20 an hour to shovel snow inside the stadium, give you free food, free drinks, breaks, etc. All the way through. Anybody 18 and over. If you're under 18, you
got working papers.
With working papers. So they, I mean, Bill's Mafia out there. I'm sure somebody will shovel a big dildo in the middle of the 50-yard line, but they're out there trying. Who knows?
Cool.
Hey man, it's going to be unpredictable. It's going to be crazy. Will it be a fun spectacle to watch? Yeah. Would I want to play in that? Absolutely not. Like, I think snow's not so bad.
No.
Cold is the worst, and rain is the worst. And then whenever it's cold and rainy, it's the absolute shit.
Just cut that.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. But no, everybody across the country, stay safe. Wherever you're at, warm up and tune into your boys here. Help you kill some time while you're hanging out in the house. Maybe sipping drinks. It's beer o'clock somewhere, as they say, right? So with that being said, I guess Jason will do his Royal Rumble entrance whenever he comes back on. Where do you guys want to go this week? You want to go positivity or you want to go negativity to start it off? Because there was a lot of both in the news cycle, depending on what you decided to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I stayed away from. I saw the negative stuff. We can dive into it if somebody has it, but other than that, I stayed away from it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep myself positive in 2024.
More of my stuff was in ring stuff, both Mount Rushmore and Jabroni.
All right, well, we got a 33 and a third chance of voting this right. So, thumbs up for Mount Rushmore, thumbs down for Jabroni to start it off.
We'll start off with Mount Rushmore.
We go okay. Well, all right, Mount Rushmore. All right. All right, Chris. Well, since you picked Mount Rushmore, go ahead. You can get into it first. What you got on your Mount Rushmore for this week in pro wrestling?
I really enjoyed Dynamite this week. I enjoyed AW Dynamite Homecoming. I thought a lot of the matches were good. Sammy Guevara, Ricky Starks. Didn't necessarily love the ending to that, but enjoyed the match. Enjoyed Cesaro and Hangman. Even the ending match, with Sting and Darby Allin, what it was. I kind of enjoyed that just for being like the clusterfuck around Daly's place. But I thought it was a good homecoming show. Enjoyed pretty much everything on there. So I'll give them the nod this week.
All right, Dynamite as a whole.
As a whole,
I'm gonna counteract you there whenever we get to my jabroni of the week.
My jabroni's from Dynamite as well. But
okay, all right,
yeah,
all right. No, I mean, listen, was it a terrible show? No. The stuff that I had as far as my jabroni coming up later on, again, it's not me. It's not gonna be me shitting on it. It's gonna be me throwing it out there and then posing what I would have done differently or how they could have done it differently to make it better, which is what I want to do with Jabroni this year. It's my personal mission. I know you guys said it's not going to last long, but so far we're 2 weeks in 2 weeks we're staying on that path. So yeah, but out of everything from Wednesday night, what stood out to you the most, or what did you enjoy the most from Wednesday night?
Right for the match, I enjoyed Cesaro and Hangman the most. I enjoyed that match.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, they gave him 19 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good. It was. I wasn't surprised, with Hangman opening. Like, we can flash back to what was it, 2021 Double or Nothing, whenever Hangman kicked it off, and the ovation he got there was incredible.
That was him and Brian Cage, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that him and Cage?
Yes.
They put on a hell of a match that show.
So that's what he opened up Dynamite this week, and that's what that reminded me of. Crowd gave him a nice ovation. Somebody the crowd appreciates from their little residency at Daly's place a couple years ago during COVID. So
for me, what stood out that I enjoyed the most was Samoa Joe's promo.
It was a good promo.
It just sets up for everything that I love about Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I have the TNA vibes of Joe, right? Whenever he was just a killer in the ring, tapping people out nonstop. You listen to him, you look at him, the presentation, the suit, the belt, the promo, the presence, everything, and it's like, how did Vince drop the ball? How did Vince drop the ball? How did Vince look at him and go, okay, you are now a commentator? I will never understand how Vince dropped the ball with Joe.
Well, I mean, Joey brought that up recently, and he said, yeah, it was because of injuries. But
yeah, I mean, I know he was hurt and it derailed him and everything else, but still, like, you don't give up on that. Like, look,
and then released twice.
Yeah, released twice. Like, I just that's him and Swerve to me are the two fumbles that in recent memory that it's like, okay, how do you not
Yeah,
How do
I
you
don't know
not
how they
see
dropped the
that?
ball with Swerve at all.
How do you not see that?
And then I like that part of it too. When Swerve came out, I was like, "There we go."
Mhm.
Was like, get him into this heavyweight contention. You know,
So pause
Yeah.
on that because I'm gonna bring that up in my as part of my jabroni later on. So we'll pause that conversation right there.
Okay.
Jay, for you dropping back on after you took your nap from eating your Big Devil sandwich.
I don't know what happened.
uh,
The Wi-Fi just wasn't there. So
that gust of wind came through Braddock and game over.
you gotta twist the back of the cable a little tighter on the modem so it don't slip out as much. Here he is. He finally showed up. So we just we're starting with Mount Rushmore's this week. Chris had AEW Dynamite as a whole, the homecoming show. He liked everything about it for his Mount Rushmore this week. And he said Hangman and Cesaro, Hangman and Claudio stole the show as far as his favorite match / segment of that show. I enjoyed Joe's promo the most from that show on Wednesday night, and we were kind of bebopping around there, but put a pin in it because I have part of that is my jabroni later on. So,
and now that he's back, I want to give my 1B for the week. And I'm going to give the shout out for Mount Rushmore to Jason. Go a little off the path because we were talking about a TV show, a sitcom that I was watching this week, and he looked at me and he texted me and he goes, "Don't you hate that guy?" And I was like, "You know what? You get the friendship award this week for knowing the people that I hate." So I'm going to give a shout out to Jason.
Look, he's frozen again.
He's frozen again.
Side eye. Frozen again with a side eye. Look at this. This guy. How not? Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
He's back. That's even better position there.
Yeah. All right.
You're back, Jason.
All right. Well, since Jay, you're being spotty over there, let's go around the horn to you in regards to what are you throwing Ethernet cables around? What are we doing right now? Jay, you good?
I don't think he can hear us.
Yo, he don't even know he's still alive right now. This is great. Are you
I'm
good?
alive.
Yeah.
Connection strong. I don't know what the hell's going on.
All right, well, let's get into your Mount Rushmore since you're over there, playing Wi-Fi landmines. What you got for your Mount Rushmore this week?
It was the first thing I seen, and it pretty much stayed throughout the whole week. Even with there were matches on every show I enjoyed, vignettes out there what I enjoyed, but I have to go with Kofi and Kaiser.
Kofi and Ludwig was the first thing that you saw?
Well, the first thing that hit my Mount Rushmore.
Oh, okay. All right. Got you.
Yeah, and that was early on Monday, so.
Yeah, got there first and stayed throughout the week.
It stayed there. The match they gave, and given the circumstance with him taking out Vinci, it just felt real. They were in hard hitting, and this was even before they even got to the outside with all the extracurricular. They sold the hell out of me on that, as if it was like a real rivalry right there.
And I love the attitude adjustment, no pun intended, from Kaiser.
Yes.
Right? Like you've been acting like you're above Vinci, you're below Gunther, and you're kind of just floating in between the two like a game of Pong. What's going to make you stand out for me to take you seriously, whether you end up challenging Gunther later on down the line or, make Vinci fall in place as far as the pecking order goes in Imperium, and his whole shift in demeanor and attitude and just the pure viciousness he showed on Monday night, I thought was spot on and tremendous from him.
Even the promos they were doing for him a few weeks ago, I enjoyed those just by himself.
Attack hard. All right, Donald, what you got for Mount Rushmore this week?
Corbin and Braun Breaker look good as a tag team during the Dusty Classics. I mean, just like Corbin said, they're two assholes that just want to bust down the door and break something, and together they look good doing it. Mimicking each other's moves, mimicking each other's entrances. I'm all for it. I can't stand both of them, but damn it, together, I'm for it.
You know, the Dusty is one thing the Dusty Classic has always been good for since it started is putting like two singles people together that you never thought you'd want to see together. And then whenever they team up by the end, normally they're the ones winning the cup. And it's like, oh, totally makes sense. Love what you did there, right? Like even going back to the first one with Joe and Finn, it's like, why are we having Joe and Finn team up together? And then they run through and win the thing. And it's like, oh, I definitely like seeing you two tag together. Like, I don't know if they run through it. I think they should. I don't see why you would give it to anybody else at this point. Just looking at the brackets initially, but you always had that little bit of tension on Tuesday. It's like, all right, is this going to implode because they're both assholes? Like, are they going to be able to make it through the match? But no, they look good together. And their motives are fitting for their characters as far as what they're trying to do for this tournament.
Yes. Yeah, it just looks good together for sure. I have them winning the way the bracket is all set up.
Yeah.
Now, are they on the same side as Trick and Mello, or are they on opposite sides?
Opposite sides.
So there's your finals.
There's your finals, and I think that's when Mello's going to turn on Trick.
Okay.
If barring injury, because we don't know, Mello and Theory last night. Hopefully they're all good. They took a nasty spill. I'm glad it wasn't worse because it definitely could have been with the way that landing went. So hopefully, I know the update was they just suffered some facial contusions and some other stuff, but we'll see if anything else further comes out as the day goes on.
Theory's neck hit that hard.
I know, like that was I saw the
big to be pulling that move off.
I saw the clip last night on Twitter, and I ran through SmackDown this morning, so I knew where the spot was, and I fast forwarded it because I didn't want to see it. Like I didn't want to watch it again. But yeah, we'll see. Damn, Taekwon, you can't do that. Jeez, oh man.
Since you brought it up, that's a match I really enjoyed, and I want to see again him and Theory go. Yeah, like you said, the future. He's a part of that.
Yes,
him Waller and Theory, or him Waller and Mello. Yeah,
that could be. Yeah, that can definitely be title feud in a few years.
Yeah,
I love like the match. Fine, great. The only thing that made me pause on Mello last night was the backstage segment.
Yeah.
He sounded rushed. He sounded forced. He didn't sound like he was confident. Maybe nerves got the better of him in that spot because it didn't sound natural. It sounded like he was reading the cards for the promo that they gave instead of just having the discussion and the talk and being the cocky, confident him that he says he is. And it's like, all right, are you going to be able to overcome that? Because that was my only, besides the size and the height, that was the only thing. It's like you on the stick. But him in NXT, it's a different breed. Like you see him in the backstage segment with Trick on Tuesday night whenever he set up them getting into the Dusty. And then you look at the backstage segment last night, and they're two different guys. It's like, is that the same Mello or is that a Mello doppelganger? Because he just sounded so different between the two shows, and it was only days apart.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping with more time on the main roster, and as he gets his footing, that changes, and we start hearing the confident, cocky him character that he has nailed down to a T in NXT. I just don't know why it didn't translate over to Friday night. Just because you're on SmackDown, it should be business as usual. You shouldn't be changing anything. But who knows? I mean, the nerves can get to you, and it happens. Not that it was bad. It just like I noticed it immediately, and I didn't want that to be the first impression from Mello. Like the in-ring work with KO was great. Theory up into that spot, good. Him and Waller, great. I just don't want the weak link in the chain to be you on the mic. Because then you turn into Ricochet. And that's not hate on Ricochet.
Light skin hate.
But it is just truth. It is.
It is. It is.
It is.
I mean,
Mhm.
bell to bell, Ricochet is unbelievable. Like it, and this is where like the Lucha Underground aspect of me watching Ricochet since then through now. He was under the mask in Lucha Underground, and he had more personality and character and everything else. And you felt him come through the screen on that show so much more than whenever he has a mic in his hand. And he's gotten better, but at the same time, I feel like that's one of the things that has held him back on the main roster.
He gets by. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not a strength.
Mhm.
So yeah, hopefully that's not the case with Melo. Right. Because you get up there, some things can happen, your confidence can get shaky, and then next thing you know, you're back doing main event matches.
And we don't know how the
Really
difference
bad.
between. And we don't know like what he does in NXT. Like, do they just give him talking points down NXT, or maybe it was a script on SmackDown? So he might not have that confidence to remember everything.
Hey, Taquan, I'm not gonna have the Joe Budden hate in the comments either. Okay, let that slide. All right. All right. So we got Baron and Braun. We got Dynamite, Kaiser and Kofi on Monday. Ronda's Mount Rushmore out for the week. I'm going just Monday Night Raw as a whole, top to bottom, 3 hours. I thought it was the best show of the week. The Punk Drew to start the show was fantastic. Ivar and Otis, that was like chef's
I'm
kiss.
all shining now.
He is.
Yeah, like I mean, I feel bad for Rowan because he come back and it's gonna be like, don't know what we're gonna do with you, bro.
Main event Ivor and the other guy.
Yeah, but him and
Michael
Otis,
Jannetty.
yeah, him and Otis was great. You brought up Ludwig and Kofi already. R-Truth was arguably one of the greatest vignettes of all time. And that man is just phenomenal, right? I don't know how much input he has on his stuff. I would think he would have a lot of input because he's been doing it for so long and he's been so good at it for so long. There was I think earlier in the week they put out somebody on Twitter, I think it was, put out a clip of it was like just like 7 minutes of R-Truth breaking wrestlers in the ring. And like, I mean, he got Brock to break.
Yeah.
Like, he's a comedic genius when it comes to wrestling.
Yeah, I don't know
Me and
how
Dawn
Judgment
were
Day can
talking
hold it
about
together. Do not know how Judgment Day can hold it together. After the vignette and they cut back to them, I don't know how they gonna hold it together.
He was like,
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
some would
They
say
got
this is
pictures of
photoshopped. And it's
They got pictures of them in everyday life out eating like together with food, and you see Truth in the background, just sticking his head for the Judgment Day.
And then the baby Judgment Days with True standing behind, like there was not a single miss in that entire vignette. Like
Even that video you sent over, I believe that. That video that you sent over, Steve, like them, but just like, I'm the guy that does this. I'm the one that does this in the group. I'm the one that doesn't do shit. It's like, that was even good this week. Like,
yeah.
Shit. Judgment Day could even just be the Mount Rushmore this week too.
Yeah. They're good playing off on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that like to nitpick for Monday night, and I saw this, a lot on social media, just the street fight between Cody and Nakamura didn't feel like I didn't feel the energy and the vibes that it needed to be for a street fight between them two, given the story that they told up until now, right? And I don't know if they're setting it up for, I know they did a bull rope match on the holiday tour, or if we're going to end up in a steel cage, whatever the case may be. But I felt like the intensity could have been kicked up a couple notches, a little bit more on the street fight between them two. But top to bottom, front to back, loved everything about Monday night. And I don't know when the last time was that I put an entire show from Raw on. Like, I didn't fast forward through nothing. You know, I had the game on, you know, the national championship on, so there was some back and forth, but it held my attention for majority of the night, which is crazy because the national championship was on.
It's kind of crazy that you have two talents like Cody and Nakamura, and they just get put in a feud, you know, just because there's no event going on, like just a weekly feud. It's like both of them deserve better than that. And it's good that, you know, it wasn't
But they made it
bad.
work,
Like,
though.
they made it work, but it's like you don't get that like big payoff out of it that it should get.
Dave has been on a high since Monday night. Okay, there's nothing you can say to Pro that'll tear him down right now.
That's all Michigan fans.
Yeah,
I'm dealing with one in the family.
yeah,
Boy.
yeah. So, I will say the other thing that I enjoyed Wednesday. We talked about Joe, but I really liked the Final Testament vignette last night on SmackDown for Cross and AOP. I love the name for the group. I just the feel and the vibe I got from it. I've been a huge Cross fan. I've been touting him on this show multiple times over the years that we've done this show. I'm glad he's finally getting some direction, something to come from it. I love the way they look. There he is, Pro. I thought you still Monday night. Hey, we gotta you know, we all went to our high school mascot was the Wolverines, and a lot of us grew up Wolverine fans just because of that. And you know, helmets were the same, just different colors. Donald shaking his head over there. But I'm glad that they.
I was like, don't speak for me.
Came through and on a ship. Now, all that happiness will change once Harbaugh leaves for the NFL here next week. But since we're on this happiness and joy train, let's back off of it a little bit and come up with some jabronis this week. We'll go around the horn same way we did as before since we started it with Chris. We'll get into your jabroni first off and go from there. Unless something comes up that needs us to deviate.
Okay. My jabroni this week was also from Dynamite. I do not want to see the Young Bucks versus Sting and Darby for Sting's last match. Like, we can't come up with something better than this.
That's not Sting's last match.
All right. Let's get into it because I put the poll question out there. Do you want to see Sting's last match as a tag match? Yes or no? Or I put yes and hell no with the options.
Okay. If this turns out to be a match, you know, on Dynamite leading up to it or whatever, cool. But I don't want it to be the pay-per-view match.
I mean, word going around the streets, depending on what rumors and innuendo you read, is that Sting requested the match. He loved what they did previously. The Bucks wanted to take time off, but whenever he came to them with wanting to do the tag match for his last match, they jumped back on board and showed up. So,
can you imagine how much you're going to hate the Young Bucks after this? Just
What
because
a
they're going to
new
be
look.
on TV every week.
And
Just be like,
they got a new
we
look,
retired
too.
Sting. Yeah.
Nah, it's not his last match. I don't believe it.
I really do think he's going to be done come Revolution. I don't see him. I don't see them doing all this and then him wrestling again. You know, I believe they're going to have JR and Shivani on the call for his last match.
In North Carolina.
Like it all lines up for that, like Jerome Bettis, John Elway send off where you go out on top and you just ride off into the sunset. I just don't. I thought about it because initially I was like you, Chris. I was like, no, I don't want Sting in a tag match to end his career.
Yeah.
But then I thought about it some more over the week, and I'm like, okay, well, if it's gonna be a singles wrestler, who's gonna be the guy one-on-one for Sting when Sting hasn't wrestled a one-on-one match in AEW?
Brother.
Who's the guy that they brought back? No, I'm kidding.
Nah.
No, but realistically, like who you gonna have him feud with over the next 60 days, less than that, to get it to where I want it to be Sting's last singles match. There's really nobody in AEW right now that you could put in that position from a one-on-one standpoint.
Edge ain't down there for a reason.
You don't necessarily need it to be like heel babyface. I think you could have had him and Darby. You know, that's the passing of the torch from Sting to Darby Allin.
Well, and that's what a lot of people were saying is, why don't you just let him and Darby go at it and have him put Darby over?
No, Darby's a wrecking ball. No.
To me, I don't think that match works based on their styles. Like together they work because one's opposite the other, and you know, Sting will do his Daredevil shit at 64.
I don't know. Sting. Yeah, I was gonna say Sting does some of the crazy shit just like Darby does. So.
But like from a one-on-one standpoint, I don't see.
Damn, Taco.
There's no story, but I'd love to see him and Dustin go.
That's an long-term story.
There's an old W. I was gonna say there's an old WCW feud there. Yeah. The Natural versus the Icon.
But you got the tie-ins with Dusty. You got Flair there. Like, yeah. But if you put him and Dustin in there, you know, are you going to give them, you know, 10 minutes, 12 minutes? Like, he's 50. Dustin's what, 50, 52 years old? Sting's 64. Like, they're not going to go out there for 20 minutes.
No.
I mean, Dustin
they could.
You know, play around outside the ropes a little bit.
I mean, making it the tag match makes it a long-term match, you know, and it lets you have Sting just come in, do probably the greatest hits, and you know, be on his way.
My only problems with it is that you don't look at Sting as being a tag team wrestler. So why would his last match be in a tag team?
Yeah.
Just like you said with the Young Bucks too. It was like, what history do they have with the Young Bucks?
Yeah.
Well, none, except, you know, according to Meltzer, no tag team has made people look better over the last 20 years. But the Young Bucks, like, I mean, they're
where all those tag teams at?
They're the most giving tag team of all time, according to Meltzer.
Meltzer's
I mean, like Flair had his last match as a tag team. And that was just so him.
Years old.
And that was for him to like be able to go. I think Sting's at least in a little better shape that he could, you know, he's been going lately enough to where that he could have a one-on-one to end his run.
Like if there was, I know you brought up Dustin, but this is where like Cody not being there kind of sucks in my eyes. Because it's like Sting and Cody would be what I would go to immediately.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Or even like,
do I even want to look?
Mortal Kombat reference.
If you had MJF as the heel MJF, like even Sting MJF, I would rock with from a single standpoint.
I still think he'll do this tag match, and then later on, about a month later, you know, there's an event called WrestleMania 40, night 1 opening match, him and Taker.
Finally get it after all these years.
Yep. Yeah. WrestleMania 40 is going to be big.
Are they wrestling that match in a foam pit? Because
I don't remember who. I saw someone say they've been talking to Taker and he had a couple surgeries and he's looking good.
Yeah.
So
all right.
Don't be surprised if he doesn't pop up at some point.
He looked like he was struggling to stand up at the Big 12 championship game and hand that belt over to Texas after they won. Yeah, you want to talk like stiff as a board at the
dude now.
And don't forget, and like Don always says, don't forget brother. You know he's making an appearance at WrestleMania for 40.
Baptized Harry.
This ain't it this month?
It is. It's 40 years of Hulkamania, ain't it?
Yeah.
This is month. That's something they got to be starting sometime.
I don't need religious Hogan on my screen.
Coming
out all white, got baptized. Talking about
Hulkamania is going to wash away them sins.
Yeah. Talking about eat your communion chips and say your psalms. Philip,
Me and the Heartbreak Kid finally buried the hatchet. Both of us is out here.
And that's when Taker comes out. And Sting. Another tag match.
And Hunter and the Venera.
Somebody, speaking of end of an era, somebody had the Taker, Shawn Michaels, and Triple H walking up the ramp carrying each other out of the WrestleMania, and it was Pete Carroll, Nick Saban,
Belichick.
Bill Belichick.
That was a good one.
It's like, oh, the internet is undefeated. All right, so Sting last match, tag match. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, I'm hoping it really is like the send-off of send-offs, like I said. I don't want him to have another match. Nobody thought Sting was going to be in AEW to begin with. So the fact that we've gotten him for 2 years.
Not this long, too.
2-3 years. And the moments he's given us in AEW, like, he's had some holy shit moments.
He's done a lot more than I expected after that injury.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back, think about it. They had the first match was the freaking video match against Team Taz. Like, it's like, all right, smoke and mirrors with Sting. We're going to cut. We're going to make some edits. We're going to do stuff. Cool. He was like, nah, fuck that. We're going out there. Like, oh, yeah. We'll see. All right, so we got Sting tag match on the jabroni list this week. Jay, what do you got?
I'm gonna put. I gotta go to AEW. I'm gonna put TK's booking, not booking, but because that might be somebody. I might be come up again, but producing. It's like you have one. Is Preston heel or face?
That surprised me when he came out as a face this week.
Okay, you have him as a face. You have them go over on Swerve's guys, and then the next segment is them coming out with Swerve to challenge Joe. Like there, it just made Swerve look weak to me. Just bringing them guys behind him. Then you had there was a couple other ones, but that was my biggest one there.
So all right, since you brought it, since we're on the trail,
not having Dark Order on the show.
Well, they were on Rampage.
They were on Rampage. Yeah, they were on Rampage.
Nobody cares about Rampage.
So, all right, first thing, because this will tie into my jabronis of the week. And like I said, my jabronis are not to shit on it. It's to throw stuff out there to see how we can make it better by booking it differently or putting in different places, etc. Right?
Oh, but yet you said jabronis, plural.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One more before you go. It was Big Bill and Ricky. When Jericho's music hits.
Jericho.
They're not even reacting to the music, and then they're looking at the ramp, like they're looking at where Sue's van comes from instead of the stage.
It was a bad production shot there during that because it was like, oh, you're gonna be caught off guard by this 5-foot entrance ramp that's at Daly's place, not knowing which side he's coming out. You're going the opposite way. They could have shot that way better. But why did Jericho get the New Jack entrance?
Yeah, the music's still playing everything.
They gave him the New Jack entrance.
Chanting. That was it. People
just
were saying that, the fans were chanting stuff like NDA, whatever. Like, it sounded like they were cheering for him. I didn't get
it. Sounded like
cheering. I was watching. Yeah.
Sounded like cheering.
So maybe that was them just trying to, just in case, But
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
Steve.
Preventing it.
I've never thought of that. The New Jack
Can't steal
entry.
that
Yeah.
from New Jack.
Out there
Not-
going to work on Big Bill. I'm like, come
yeah,
on.
no, we're not having 187 play in the background. And you
Ju-
come out.
Judas is a good song, but it's not New Jack.
Man, this ain't 96 ECW.
It's not natural born killers out there to where I'm losing my mind for 8 minutes as the song replays 3 times and New Jack is just open ass with every weapon under the sun.
I used to love the New Jack matches just because you'd be sitting there like watching them, like, man, they're doing some crazy shit. Then you'd be like 10 minutes later, like, is that music still playing?
Still playing.
It does.
Yo, if you were not outside during that era of wrestling, a New Jack match entrance was just the shopping cart with the trash can full of shit, him chucking it in the ring, and then just
Going to work.
ending up stage diving off of some balcony. Like,
And picking up the win.
yeah.
With a match he
And
wasn't
get
even in. With a match he wasn't even in, but he picked up the win.
Yeah,
One of the big
yeah.
ones came
How
against
many,
Spike
yeah,
Dudley.
how many New Jack wins was he in actual participation?
Good times, good times.
So to further your point and deep dive a little bit on this, because Jay, a lot of stuff that you brought up is stuff that I had, but first with the Preston Vance and Anna Jay coming out as baby faces in the 8-man tag matches, those matches were to honor Brody Lee based off of him and everything else, but none of that was conveyed. Like, if you're gonna honor Brody Lee with a homecoming show, you're back in Daly's Place. It was the anniversary, I believe, this week of when the Exalted One, when he appeared as the Exalted One in Daly's Place. He had his best run there, like, fine, bill it that way so that whenever I see them come out, I don't go, why are you with the good guys?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, so just make it known. If you make it known that on the card when you announce the show that these 2 matches are to honor Brody Lee, and maybe they did show that in the graphic, but the graphic was so small I couldn't see it. But don't just leave me out there hanging like, this makes no sense. Why are you teaming with so and so and everything else? And I have to get filled in on commentary that these matches are to honor Brody Lee. It's like, okay, well, Brody Lee was not in 8-man tag matches, but I digress from that standpoint, right?
Yeah.
And he was a heel.
Cool. Yeah, and he was a heel, right?
And if you're going to do something like what Jason said, do something with the Dark Order. Like, not like a couple different matches, just throwing their storylines out the window.
And they had -1 on the show on Rampage last night, so they tied it all together.
Yeah.
But it's like it was on Rampage. Like, why are you not doing that on Dynamite? If you're really going to do the Honor Brody Lee show, but it was not really an Honor Brody Lee show. It was a homecoming show. It just that part of it just didn't make sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Layout. You brought up Swerve coming out with the rest of the Mogul Embassy after they just lost, and it just,
if you just put that anywhere else on the card, it'd been fine for me.
Yeah. So here's where I want to go, like, placement wise, right? If instead of Claudio and Hangman opening up, if you just take Joe and have him open up with the promo, Swerve come out with the Mogul Embassy challenge, Hangman come out, challenge, and then Joe walks off and Claudio comes out and they start the match. It flows much better.
Yeah. Yeah, just placement. That's all it needed.
That's it. Just it flows much better, right? And then as Joe's walking out, before you go to commercial break, you can flash the Hook sign and have Hook standing at the top of the ramp. I hate how you wasted the Hook sign and the Hook face off after Hangman leaves, after Swerve leaves, and then you announce the match for Hook and Joe next week. It's like, why are you putting Hook there in that spot with all those other moving pieces? To book a match next week just because Seth and Jinder are on Monday, you want to throw that match on there to prove, oh, I can just throw a match together and it will be better than yours.
With anybody. Sorry, with anybody.
Or if you want to get here's me going extra booking. If you really want to do the hook signal, right? Do Joe open, promo, Swerve come out, confrontation, he leaves, Hangman comes out, confrontation, Joe walks out, Claudio, Hangman have their match, right? We go to commercial break, match finishes, they shoot to Joe walking out of Daly's place, and because Daly's place is right next to the Jags football stadium, why don't you have the hook sign on the Jaguar Stadium then?
I thought you were about to say flash that shit in the sky. I was about to...
But have it with the backdrop of the stadium and Joe in the parking lot and look up like, what the hell is that? And then have Hook standing there waiting for him in the parking lot.
Like during Joe's promo, like he was talking about, like, hey, there's gonna be like a championship committee, which we all know who that is, and you know, you want to defend, you want a title match, come in, if your record checks out, you get a match. I mean, I think that's probably why Hook's up there, because Hook's probably got, what they say, he's 24-1,
26-1,
26-1. Okay, so if he's getting the first one, that's probably why, just because of his record. It's definitely got to be better than Swerve and Hangman's right now. So
I don't want this to lead into a Swerve, Hangman, Joe triple threat at Revolution, but I feel like that's where it's going to go.
No.
I feel like that's where it's going to go.
Swerve deserves better.
Not saying that Swerve will win at Revolution. I'm saying that that's where it will go, and maybe you get Swerve and Joe at Double or Nothing or whatever the case may be down the road. But I got this just when I saw that Wednesday night, I'm like, okay, we're getting a triple threat and don't really need it.
And I know it would be a good match, but I don't need to see Hangman and Swerve again either at Revolution.
No,
because even
to be a number one contender or whatever,
Because even when Swerve was leaving the ring, he was yelling at Hangman, 2-0 against you, 2-0 against you.
Yeah.
And why did Swerve leave him? You got 2-0. Stand your ground.
And then
exactly.
Speaking of staying your ground, the other thing, because of where you placed it, you had Hangman wrestle that big ass match with Claudio. He comes out after wrestling. But there's no tie-in to the end of the show from last week, where Hangman came out wanting to whoop everybody's ass. You have Swerve and Joe in the ring, and you don't throw one punch.
Yeah,
he wants to whoop everybody's ass. Why isn't he whooping the people's ass that are the reason why he took time off?
And that's the other point. You had the United Kingdom out there for their promo.
Cringe.
So
look,
Undisputed Kingdom.
Or Undisputed. I'm with Austin Gunn.
You got to set it that chair one time. I'm not trying to see him crawl out the ring for entrance and then afterwards.
Yes.
That's another issue.
You need like Dark Order there. Lights come on, they're already in the ring.
Yeah, or stand at the top of the ramp when they come out and then you cut your promo afterwards.
Yeah.
Just little.
There's too many turning the lights off, turn them back on in AEW. We don't need that anymore.
But they need something.
Then he rehashed like a lot of the time.
Do it on the ramp. Don't do it in the ring.
Yeah. Exactly. That's wasting time.
But yeah, there was just a lot of. That's why, like Chris, like when you said Dynamite as a whole, like there were too many plot holes, story not lining up, details not being connected from week to week, placement of stuff that just makes me go, they don't have a plan. I said it last week. One has a plan, one doesn't. So how do you get a plan? Well, just maneuver your chess pieces differently. Set your board up differently. If they set their board up differently, the show flows better and it's a much more cohesive show and makes it come off 10 times better than what it was. It wasn't a bad show Wednesday night. I was entertained Wednesday night, but it was just like, you move a couple pieces here differently and we got a bang bang show. Bang bang. Bang.
The plan is there is no plan. That's it. He's doing this just kind of like New Japan style booking now, just matches on everything. It's like I don't think this is why there needs to be other people. He can be the booker, but somebody else needs to be.
He's not a booker
like doing this.
He's a matchmaker.
Yeah.
He needs a booker.
It's like it's what they need. They need somebody like to say, okay, if he's making the matches, someone needs to lay everything out so it makes better sense. But he's not going to do that. This is the way it's going, and you're going to go blue in the face talking about it all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not here to just drive him into the ground, but throw something else out there. Like I said, if you just adjust that, like it makes more sense. And people don't, like Jay said, you don't have Swerve coming out there looking like a bum because the rest of his entourage and the rest of his boys lost a match 2 minutes ago. And then Heyman comes out and it's like, all right, last week didn't happen. I don't want to fight nobody. I'm just going to get in your face and call my shot for a title. It's like, well,
like there's plenty of people that are in AEW, like that are in producer roles that are wrestlers. Like I just saw this week they hired Scotty 2 Hotty. Like he's going to be a producer in the back now. It's like these guys need to be doing something like to making the show better. They need to be going to him and say, we need to lay this out better. These batches need to be laid out, whatever. Like,
and we don't know that they're not doing that. And maybe Tony's just not listening. Like
that's
they
definitely
could be doing that. Like so yeah, I don't know, just tweaks and turns. Like, and then like even with SmackDown last night, like to me, SmackDown was a filler show. There was some stuff that advanced storyline wise, but match wise, like I think the first 40 minutes you had one match, and then Bianca and Bayley started. Like majority of your whole first hour was filler.
Damn, all I remember is 3 matches. That was yesterday. Shit.
Yeah, like you had Theory and Mello, which was in the second hour.
Yeah.
You had Bianca and Bayley start at the end of the first hour, go into the beginning of the second hour.
You had the main event.
The main event.
That's all I remember.
And you had the LWO and
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Legado to start the show. But that was like a 7 minute match, and then it was back to story. Like so.
I like how their scar tattoos just magically disappeared.
Continuity.
The magic of TV.
Just magically disappeared. But oh well. Who's keeping track?
Why not? So let me throw this out there for you for SmackDown last night as far as throwing different options to see if it would make it better or worse. You had Heyman interviewing everybody and their mother to get them to tag with the Bloodline last night for the triple threat. They chose to run the angle of Orton getting taken out and then comes back in, and they do the beatdown afterwards and ends it, right? Just set up the numbers game. How's Roman going to overcome this at the Rumble, etc. What if you would have had Santos step in and tag? And you have a Legado Bloodline, scratch my back, I'll scratch your back.
Interesting.
You have Legado being there as a new heel faction, and they have their business going on with the LWO and Carlito, etc. Right? But to me, Santos is a star.
Yeah,
like absolute star.
Mm-hmm.
So why not just have him step in to get a little bit of that rub, just to put him up there amongst the rest.
Yeah,
he could have ate the pin. It's not going to hurt him, and you still could have did the beatdown afterwards. But then you get the true, 6-man tag, 3-on-3, and it just gives a little bit of an added layer, and it helps elevate Legado up. Say, oh, pay attention, somebody to be worried about.
Yeah. And then the people in the back can see that, hey, can he go with Orton? Can he go with AJ?
Yeah, what's he look like in there with LA Knight? What type of reaction does he get?
Yeah.
Because he can be elevated up to that level. I think he has the charisma. He can talk. Presentation's great. Like I see him. He's clearly above the other two in the group.
Yeah.
Like Humberto and Garza are at a certain level, and you just look at Santos when he's standing next to those three, and you go, "Okay, that's the guy."
No doubt.
So why not just for one night, just give him a little bit of a rub? It don't got to be a whole lot moving forward, but just something to have in the back pocket as an Easter egg to later on down the road. Heaven forbid something happens, and then Santos cashes in on Heyman. Hey, remember that time I helped you out? I need you to go to the head of the table, and I need you to give me
Do something for
Solo.
me.
Give me Solo. I got to deal with this Carlito problem. You're weaving stuff together.
Are those the only heels they have? You got Santos, Theory and Waller, and you got AOP.
Final Testament. So you got
Final Testament.
Cross AOP. You got Legado. You got the Bloodline. Theory, Waller,
and Logan.
Yeah.
Is there any other like solo heel?
For male?
Yeah.
I don't
Wait,
think
you
so.
say it's solo heel?
Yeah. I mean, well, we just named the whole faction. So, like, is there anybody else other than those three factions?
I
can't think of anybody.
I don't think so.
It's all time.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, just
it is that weekend, right?
It is. that MLK tribute will be up there on to start Monday Night Raw like it is every year. But just something I just thought of while
Kofi's out.
Just something, But yeah, and then the other thing from last night, Logan Paul just not it on the mic.
No.
For somebody that talks and does a podcast and everything else and promotes boxing matches with words and everything, like last night, it's like, dude, you're trying way too hard.
Yeah.
And Jason, there goes your heel solo person right there.
None of it is working. And it's not like it's so bad that I hate you more. It's just so bad that I just want you off my screen.
Yes.
Just wrestle.
That's it. A good advocate.
Just don't give him the cheesy, I'm going to sue you and we're going to deal with lawyers and that cast. I mean, weapon. And it's like, yo.
Yeah.
I don't like, yeah, trash. Like, rewrite that. Tear that up. That needed to be rewritten like 5 minutes before the segment went. I don't think Triple H okayed that. That shit was garbage.
All about the opportunity here.
Yep. Put on the gloves and jab. That's what I told him to do. I shut up and dribble. Put on the boxing gloves and jab. That's all you need to do. So yeah, but just a couple different things from last night that I thought could have made the show a little bit better. If you're going to give me all filler on Friday Night SmackDown, so we'll see Roman's response next week whenever he comes. Supposed to be on the show next week, and then we'll turn around and get ready for the Rumble, which is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. So, all right. Anything else from Mount Rushmore or Jabroni this week that we need to touch on before we get into the game?
Yeah, my Jabroni.
Oh, my bad, Donald. I thought we already covered that. My bad.
No, that's fine. We're back to NXT, and they are doing their normal. Another battle royal for women's number one contendership for the title. I mean,
what they do.
I mean, how many times are we going to do that? So I did a little. So I did a little research.
Hold on, pause before you get into your research. The only other side of the coin that I'm going to say to this is, it's Rumble season. NXT doesn't have a Royal Rumble, so they're giving them a Rumble because the only tie-in that I saw.
We're just making a show then. Just If you're on that weekend, give him a Rumble too.
I think you
I'm
put
just
more
saying,
thought into it than they
Taquan,
did,
I'm
Steve.
just throwing. I'm just throwing stuff out there. Hey, like I'm not gonna completely crap all over this Rumble multi-person match to establish number one contender, just given the timing of the year it is.
I mean, it's their plan like AEW with a street fight. Those couple 2 years, which is like you want a match, you got a street fight. But I did some research, and last year there was actually 3 battle royals for number one contendership.
On
So
NXT?
just to tell you, on
How many
NXT,
4-ways?
I didn't count the 4-ways. I just count the battle royals.
Because I've seen that. That's all there been.
Yeah, there was 4 battle royals, or 3 battle royals and 1 tournament for the belt. That's the one that Tiffany won. So
wait to a storyline.
So so that's telling me right there that you don't know how to develop women for a story for the title. That is what it's telling me.
I mean,
they have a problem with that.
So they're starting now. So I think we're going to want a quarter this year.
Well, you have a story though. You have the Tatum Paxley and Lyra. Like you have a story. Why are you gonna have Tatum win this and then it's gonna be okay? That's like I just don't.
You have that. Lash Legend was getting a lot of pop for slamming Otis.
She ain't been.
Have something.
I mean, how many parking lot brawls we done had? How many backroom brawls we done had?
I mean, you can have that.
Oh, hold on, parking lot brawl. This almost made
Tuesday.
my jabroni. This almost made my jabroni list, and because Donald, you brought up the women, they start the show with Nikita and Blair brawling in the parking lot with 2 different outfits on, right? And then they come out, and Vic Joseph
come out in the ring gear.
Yeah, they come out in their ring gear, and Vic Joseph is like, they've been battling since the parking lot. We can't keep these women apart. I'm like, pause. No, they haven't. They had time to change. Else, dude. Like, why not just have them come from the parking lot directly through the curtain?
Yeah,
don't have Nikita change up into a ring gear and everything else. I looked at that like, get this BS off my screen, man.
They said that this match was supposed to be later tonight, but.
Yeah, we're going to do it right now because of the brawl that they've carried over from the parking lot. But magically, they had a change in dress, like they were at a concert where like they just got lowered underneath the stage, changed outfits real quick, and came back up for the next song. Like
after we introduced ourselves, after we introduced the whole card, what's happening tonight? Oh my God, dude! What is this?
Yeah, that was bad. That was on my.
That was AEW production there.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know how you do it differently right now. Like I feel like Tatum is the story, and I felt like they were hitting their beats with that, but it's like almost like they put it on pause to do this multi-person match just to have somebody else win that Lyra's going to beat because of assistance from Tatum to carry on her and Tatum's story. Like it just doesn't make sense.
It's like you have 3 great heels, but you're putting them elsewhere. You have Stratton, you got Cora, and you got
I saw with her. Yeah, but I saw. I don't know if NXT was doing a house show or something during the week or whatever, but I saw something on my timeline that Cora tore ACL. And it may happen Tuesday night, but that was just like one quick hit, and I haven't seen anything else.
Nope.
So
that's all I saw about it was that she got injured.
I'm hoping that's not the case.
Yeah.
But
they might not know yet.
Yeah,
it's true too. So,
and if that happens, that's some bad luck for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's been snake bitten a little bit. I know she took time off to get some enhancements done, but and then allegedly her and Braun are no longer together either. So, Donald, you shoot your shot. The bad girl jailhouse. she check marks all the boxes from Donald's list. If you know Donald's list, you know Cora hits all the check marks. So yeah,
Only snow you see in Florida, Donald.
yeah. I mean, unless he's in Miami, but that's a different kind of snow.
Yeah.
All right, that's Mount Rushmore Jabroni this week. What do we got for a game?
Want to do predictions? Or you want to get on to the game?
Oh shit!
I forgot about prediction. That's the bait.
Yeah, let's get into it. Hard to Kill. TNA is officially back tonight. Super
Steve,
excited.
next week's all TNA, and then forgets about TNA.
Well, look, man, we're an hour plus right now, and the conversation. is
Good
good.
confidence. Mhm.
Yeah, we out here potting today. I'm loving it. We got discussion going, not just yelling from both sides of the aisle as I'm right, you're wrong. As much of the Twitterverse was this week, given everything that went down.
All right, we got pretty good card here. We got three matches on the kickoff, so we'll try to get through those pretty quick, I think.
Jay, get your popcorn.
We're going to start off with Rich Swann and Steve Macklin.
Yeah, the kickoff matches we're not going to spend a lot of time on or discuss here. They're just doing it to get people on the card, which I'm fine with. Give me Macklin.
Macklin. You got to do this to get Swan on the card? Give me Macklin.
Right now, yeah.
Damn, Macklin like fell. I mean, not Macklin, Swan. He was like up here now. Now you on the countdown?
Macklin too.
Jeez, Macklin.
I'm gonna go with Macklin too. So, all right, tag match: Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers versus Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian.
Again, Edwards and Kazarian, I feel like have been wrestling each other for a year and a half here. I'll go with
that one end.
Yeah, I'll go with Edwards and Myers.
Edwards Myers.
Although, hold on, pause. I'm gonna redact my statement. Give me the TNA originals, Eric Young and Frankie Kazarian, to get a win on TNA's first pay-per-view back.
That's where I was going.
Edwards Myers.
I'm still going Edwards Myers.
Steve, yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm going with the TNA team here. So, Young and Kazarian. And then one things with the title match: Digital Media Championship, Tommy Dreamer versus Crazy Steve.
Hold on, we got breaking news outside of the world of pro wrestling here. The Steelers playoff game has been postponed due to dangerous weather conditions in Buffalo. So they postponed the Steelers Bills, but the Chiefs Dolphins at negative 35 degrees are still playing tonight.
Okay.
Is that what they're gonna play Monday night then?
I was just gonna say one of they say.
Playoff game.
I'm shocked the league make that decision.
It says that
that's got to be it, right? Just like with either Monday or Tuesday.
They're playing Monday at 4:30.
Okay.
I'm off for the MLK holiday, so
that's probably what they were thinking.
Yeah. So all right, saw that across the timeline there. Crazy Steve. They've been building up the Crazy Steve taking his belt off Dreamer. So give me Crazy Steve.
Crazy Steve coming back with the fork.
Is Tommy Dreamer going to bring the fork to the ring?
It's going to be a different fork.
Jason?
Oh, Crazy Steve.
Okay. I'm going Crazy Steve. I'd like to see a different digital media champion at this point.
I will say I did like all the belts. I didn't like the red strap, and I didn't like the face of his digital media belt. I like the old digital media belt face.
Yeah, we brought that up initially when we started the pod. The red strap was the only thing I did not like, but everything else, kudos. Some of the best looking belts in pro wrestling, honestly, top to bottom.
Glad to see like the main title going back to a gold title too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that was it for the countdown. Moving on to the main show, we'll kick things off with the Knockouts Ultimate X.
It is.
You okay, Jason?
Taquan with the R-Truth moment, making it great character.
Look,
Ooh, man.
you caught me. Be your last time.
Ultimate X match, the second one for the women. Tasha Steelz won the first Ultimate X match, and a really good Ultimate X match. First one initially. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that before the show tonight because it was done very well. The women handled themselves amazingly in that match. I'm hoping that they are able to do the same thing tonight.
Mhm.
I would like to see Tasha win it again, but I'm going to go with a little outside the box, so to speak. I'm going to go with Zaya Brookside.
Give me my girl Danny Luna. I just know her from
Good
Instagram.
choice.
Only person I know off here is Tasha Steele, so Tasha Steele.
I'm going with Giselle Shaw on this one.
I was waiting for somebody to say it.
Yeah, I think she's getting the number one contender shot.
All right, so we got 4 differences of opinions here. We'll see which one of us is right.
I like that
Oh, is this for Trinity's belt?
for number one contender. For
Yeah,
it.
number one.
Okay, so it's probably storyline wise, it'd be Giselle, I guess.
Next up, Dirty Dango versus PCO.
This could have been on the pre-show. I didn't need this on the main card.
This is my bathroom break match.
Although I do love everything that Dirty Dango is doing in TNA. Character-wise, he's been tremendous. PCO is one of those guys. He's like 57 years old and shouldn't be doing the shit he does in the ring. Like, there'll be an oh shit moment, which PCO tends to deliver. I'll go with Dango and Shenanigans to get the win over the undead PCO.
So what kind of theme match is this?
No
right there.
theme right now.
No? Okay. Dirty. Give me Dirty Dango.
PCO never dies. PCO.
Don't really care, but I'm going PCO. X Division Championship. Sabin, Vikingo, Kushida.
What a freaking match this is. Like, if this isn't a summary of the X Division, what it was, and you're kicking it back off with this match for TNA, I mean, geez, oh man. Vikingo, this is going to be like holy shit moments galore.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't expect your holds and transitions and everything else. This is going to be fast paced, moves after moves after moves, not a whole lot of selling. So if that's not your cup of tea, don't watch this match, but this match is going to be amazing. I got Sabin retaining, although I would not be surprised if they give it to Kushida. He just signed, he just re-upped with them. So wouldn't be surprised there with a new X Division champ.
I'm gonna go with Kushida.
No.
Good.
Kushida.
I was gonna go Kushida.
Hmm.
Somebody new. I mean, Vikingo's on every promotion.
Yeah.
Kushida.
I'm going Sabin. First TNA event. I think TNA original want to keep the belt on him. So for that reason, I'm going Sabin.
How much money you think Vikingo's made himself when he actually does leave AAA? Because my man's been AAA champ for almost 2 years. And
if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to still make tons of money.
Yeah, because he's on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure by this point, his price tag's gone up a bit.
a bit.
Up a bit.
My man surpassed inflation rates. Like
He had a great 2023.
It's not Quan.
Moving on, we're going to the Knockouts Championship. Trinity versus Jordan Grace.
All right, so here's where we got Jordan Grace winning because Trinity's done with TNA and she'll be in the Rumble in 2 weeks. So that's all I have to say about this match. Like, I wish Trinity was like the whole contract situation didn't get out there with her time being up and everything else because it just, I know the outcome in this match and I would be shocked.
If you don't read internet spoilers, who would you think was going to win this match? Would you still go Jordan, or do you think it would be Trinity?
I'd win with Grace.
I would go with Grace myself, just because to me, she's everything that a women's champ should be. Trinity's a nice story, but she's not a knockout champion. If you know what I mean by that.
What did she really do this year in Impact?
Exactly, Chris.
I mean, her and Mickey James had a decent match at Bound for Glory. I thought it could have been better.
Okay.
But,
yeah, I agree.
Like
they put it what? Like they put it, I think, like last year in for Impact 1000. That might have been like one of the top things that was Trinity's debut, and it's like this is the TNA I want to get away from in 2024, where they just bring somebody in and hope it's going to change.
They throw a title on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there is rumors that there will be surprises and debuts and some announcements of new people signing. Now whether or not they do that on screen, have talent come out, etc. I don't know from a women's standpoint who you could have come in besides Mercedes Moné, which we all believe that not to be true.
I had that as a slide too. So they're touting it as worlds will collide. So
yeah, Camille's allegedly already gonna, if not here in the relatively near future, inking a deal with NXT in WWE. So, which
NXT
is a little
or Impact or TNA. I'd like either one for her.
Yeah.
What if you had Rousey show up? What if that's the big signing D'Amore was talking about a couple weeks ago on Busted Open?
They could have her.
If you have Grace win the belt and you have Ronda's music hit, does that do anything for you?
No.
I wouldn't mind it because she still has the itch to wrestle. So
yeah,
as long as she put in the effort.
I don't hate Ronda, but
she did nothing for me in WWE, so I don't care.
Yeah.
What about Andrade? I know he's supposed to be headed back to WWE. Him coming into TNA, Hard to Kill tonight. Does that move the needle for you at all?
It doesn't move the needle
matches,
right away, but I think it could be good. They need somebody like that in the company. Somebody that can go, has some power behind them, and could actually have good matches.
But who do you put with him? Because he's always had somebody with him as a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Do you just bring him in by himself, or you bring him in with somebody?
Homicide. No, I don't know. I don't think Andrade is leaving TNA to go back, or leaving AEW to go to TNA.
Yeah. Once the money's right, you never know.
Shark Boy showing up. Maybe even Curry Man.
I wouldn't mind seeing Curry Man come out there.
Yeah, Curry Man's still in AEW though.
Who's the best?
We'll move. WWE.
He's in WWE. Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen him on screen.
Yeah, he just.
I do think you'll get James Storm there tonight.
I can see him being there.
I thought he was going to stick around after Impact 1000, so I was surprised whenever that was just like a one-time thing.
I know Bobby Roode is still under contract with WWE, but can he make an exception?
Now, if I have Rude showing up in TNA, I want Rude to do something in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Celebratory thing, just like TNA's back, have one of your biggest champs.
This rumor they were working together, how far is that going?
I haven't seen anything else or anything that legitimately makes me feel like they are working together.
Other than them using Endeavor streaming service, I don't think there's anything that's going to happen.
Okay.
All right, we'll move on. Got the TNA World Tag Team Championship. Got ABC, Rascals, Speedball Mountain, and Grizzled Young Vets.
This match, is this a tornado tag match? Because if not, it's not gonna work. And I only say that because if you just do it as a standard tag match, like too many people in and out and everything else, it'll just lose all credibility from being a regular tag match.
Yeah.
I love all four teams. I'm very curious to see Grizzled Young Vets in TNA. I love the promos that they've been cutting prior to showing up. I feel like they have a lot to prove. You may or may not like them as a team. They're not everybody's cup of tea. I enjoy their work. Chris Bay and Ace Austin, to me, are great. Wentz and Miguel are fantastic. Don't really like the Speedball and Trent Seven pairing, but kind of is what it is. This one's a coin flip for me, honestly, because I can see it going between ABC, the Rascals, or Grizzled Young Vets.
I don't want to see Grizzled Young Vets come in and just get the belts. So.
All right, well, give me the Rascals then. I'll go with Trey and Zach.
I hate when they bring people in and give them the belt, but I'm gonna go Grizzly Young Vets. Been championing these guys for a while. They need some titles, some hardware.
I'm with you, Jason. Grizzly Young Vets. Even though it's a new TNA, even though it's a new TNA, I think they're going to falter back to their old style with this.
Old TNA.
Yeah.
They've been pushing the Rascals. I could see that, but I still like ABC as the champs. I'm just going with them to retain.
Well,
but we'll see.
I do like ABC. I really do.
All right, Steve. This is gonna be your match of the night. Alexander versus Hammerstone.
I mean, probably it's kind of hard to pick against that X Division match. Saban, Vikingo, and Kushida, or hell, even that tag match. But this is everything that I want in the match. Like this, if I wasn't sold on the card before this match was announced, when this match was announced, I know we talked about doing like Alexander and Ospreay on the card or this and that, right? No, these two, Hammerstone got something to prove. I feel like he, was in MLW so long, he got kind of taken for granted. And besides Fatu, wasn't really a lot of people there on his level to where he could showcase and shine. And I feel him stepping in the ring with Alexander just will immediately give him legitimacy. And those two will be talked about as the night progresses and into tomorrow based on what they do in this match. Give me Alexander for the win, but Hammerstone is definitely a solid get for TNA. Even come out and have him sign a contract after the match, do that type of deal to get him on the roster because he's a really good fit there and can do a lot in that division.
I'm gonna go Alexander Hammerstone.
Have you ever even seen Hammerstone wrestle?
Huh?
Have you seen either one of these two wrestle?
Yes.
All right.
Hammerstone just cut his hair, didn't he?
Huh?
He just cut his hair, didn't he?
Hammerstone was what?
I said he just cut his hair, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't like 2 weeks ago he just cut his hair. It's been a while, but yeah, he got a haircut.
I said Alexander didn't know where I was going. Not because I didn't know things.
Yeah, I cooled off on Hammerstone and MLW, so I'm looking forward to seeing if working with Alexander, if there's a level that he can improve on. So, but I'm still going with Alexander.
I am going with, shockingly, a double count out. I'm going double count out because I think Hammerstone should be in TNA and have them build on a story here. It was like Alexander, hey, this is my promotion. You're trying to come in and take it. And they're just going to lose it and be a double count out to progress story.
Interesting. Okay.
I would hate that, but
I'm looking into the future.
I could understand them doing something. Now, if you have a certain somebody show up that may be not on the card that nobody knows about and causes a double count out to get more buzz, I'm okay with that as well.
In Andrade.
Maybe an old
Yeah.
I know a certain somebody showed back up in MLW that was, partners and friends with Hammerstone for a little bit in a group called Dynasty. Maybe you have some rarefied air grace the presence of the TNA Hard to Kill.
Wouldn't be upset with that either.
La Parker in his chair.
But I'd be surprised though.
No, I'm just fantasy booking that with Richard
Mhm.
Holiday.
Him resigning back with MLW, I'd be surprised.
Real quick, pin on this real quick. What if you have Hammerstone and Holiday show up in AEW to help MJF out? And you got the Undisputed Kingdom against Dynasty.
I'd like that.
Give
I'd
me
like to see
Hammerstone.
Holiday on a bigger stage.
Give me Hammerstone and Wardlow right now.
I got
You
MJF
and your
showing up
big
in 2
meaty
weeks to
men.
the Rumble.
You got MJF
I got it.
coming out on the Rumble.
I got everybody showed up to the Rumble or WrestleMania. That's what it's all leading to. If you haven't been seen in a while or the contract is in negotiation, yeah, you're going to WrestleMania.
You're gonna be the first one to say I called it.
Donald's not going to have a gimmick after WrestleMania Night 2 for the rest of the show for the year. He's going to sit there in silence.
Then it just search for WrestleMania 41.
All right, what's next?
All right, final match. TNA World Championship, Shelley versus Moose.
Look, was I thrilled when Shelley won the belt? No. Did I think Shelley would be a good champ and have a run? He's completely proved me wrong. I thought he was going to drop the belt to Alexander, but, I mean, they had a tremendous match at Bound for Glory. I know people here aren't high on Moose and don't like Moose. It's kind of like John Moxley territory with this show with other people besides me. Would I necessarily put the belt on Moose given where he's at right now to start off the rebrand of TNA? No. I feel like you get more mileage with a babyface champ and heels chasing. Shelley's a TNA original. So I got Shelley retaining.
Yeah, Shelley retain him.
Much like Trinity, it's time. Moose.
Shock for me.
Yeah. I'm not a big Moose fan, but I've enjoyed like the stuff that he was doing with Myers there for a bit. So I was kind of surprised that they moved right into this.
Well, this is because of the call your shot.
Yeah.
So, they
It
didn't
wasn't really a call your shot as much this time whenever both of them did this pay-per-view, but yeah, it's like I'm going to go with Shelley for the win. I think kind of what you were saying, Steve, TNA original just makes more sense, and then we'll see who they're bringing in.
Yeah. Match of the night.
I think I got to go X Division.
Kind of hard not to, right?
Yeah.
Like, you see that lineup, like that's the one that stuck out immediately whenever I just saw the graphics for the card, not even like breaking it down thinking about it. Like Vikingo.
I'm expecting something out of the tag team and Ultimate X too. Hopefully they all live up.
I'll stay the course. I'm going Josh Alexander and Hammerstone.
All right, go Dex Division.
Hammerstone and Alexander.
There's TNA. They got a really good show tomorrow as well.
That'll be the upcoming episodes of Impact.
I'm excited to see the presentation tonight. I'm excited to see the setup, stage, the music, commentary. I want bells and whistles. Give it to me all. Like, show me what you got. If you've been setting yourself up to get off on the right foot since you announced that TNA was effing back. You had a great week of promos. You had a great week of displaying the new belts. There's a lot of solid matches on this card. You know, TNA pay-per-views always, in recent memory, tend to deliver as far as being really good shows, top to bottom. So make yourself re-debut to the wrestling right light and give me everything you got.
Throw some shit at the wall and see what sticks.
You got the first time to make a lasting impression. If you're coming back, don't do something that's going to make immediately go LOL TNA.
And this is your first time using your new streaming platform. I hope you got your glitches fixed.
Make sure it works.
Because if it doesn't, that's going to be an LOL TNA moment.
Yeah.
Because how many times has that happened in wrestling?
Well, it can't be worse than Bleacher Report. So we'll see. But look, and whether you're sitting around nothing to do tonight, turn on this card. Get the pay-per-view. I got a feeling you're not going to be disappointed. Okay. All right. Real quick, you want to run through the game real quick?
There we go.
Debate this. We don't got to spend a lot of time on this, but this came about based on Edge's comments on Busted Open this week. And do 5-star matches matter? Because Edge was like, I don't even know what a 5-star match is.
It's subjective, isn't it?
No, it all depends on what you like.
Yeah.
As the fan, what do you like?
Meltzer's ratings are Meltzer's ratings.
That's his ratings.
Yeah, it's not the standard in wrestling.
I seen somebody had like a graphic of the 5-star ratings between the Shield members and 7 or 4.25 matches, 4 3/4 matches. And Moxley had like 18 4 3/4 matches and 5-star matches. Seth had maybe 1 5-star match. Roman had none. So it's subjective if Seth doesn't have a 5-star match.
Of course.
How many 5-star matches have I given Moxley?
But I feel like the 5-star matches thing, like, didn't become the focal point or the talking point until you had Omega and Okada in the Tokyo Dome. Like, Meltzer's been giving ratings for years.
Yeah.
But it was never a big focus. It was just him doing his own shtick, whatever the case may be. But then I feel like the first Omega Okada, which got like whatever it was, 6 stars. Then the follow-up got 8 stars. Like, I feel like that's whenever it came into existence as being like, oh my God, 5-star, 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 5-star. You had a 5-star, you had a 5-star. They didn't have a 5-star. Why didn't they have a 5-star? 5-star, 5-star, 5-star. And it's like,
And
it doesn't make sense.
I don't think he has a real criteria at all.
No. Because if he did, you wouldn't get a 7-star match.
Yeah.
We're big on criteria on this show.
Yeah, I mean, we do
because
again, we just had that, and we do that every year. It's like, to me, that's kind of like, in a way, like what are your favorite matches? You know, like, you don't have to rank it as a 5-star match.
Yeah,
just whatever you enjoy.
You can have a high-flying match that makes you feel one way, a spot fest that makes you feel one way, and have the same match with like very few moves, but you have all the emotion in the world in it, make you feel the same way. Like,
because what did that 7-year-old think of Omega and Okada? Do you think that's a 5-star match? No, then what the fuck are they talking about then? No, it's all your opinion.
Hey, if I was a kid, Hogan had all 5-star matches to me.
Of course.
Brother.
So what's he talking about?
All you had to do is this in 5 stars.
He said Disco Inferno was right. Everybody just do everything just to please Uncle Dave and get that 5-star match.
And it's like, why is there so much weight in that though?
It shouldn't be.
It came on the precipice of the Edge Griff Garrison match, and it's like, why is Adam Copeland in there with Griff Garrison for longer than 5 minutes? This is ridiculous. Garrison hasn't been on TV, blah 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 blah. And Adam on Busted Open was like, look, he's going to be around way after I'm gone. So if 5 minutes or 6 minutes or 7 minutes in the ring with me can
Teach him
put his
something.
name on people's mouths and get people thinking about him, and he actually shows up and does something in those 6-7 minutes, then yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna put him in there for 6-7 minutes with me. Why wouldn't I be? And
What would you hear?
on top of that, Adam wanted to work with him. He sees something in him.
And Ez needs to work, the repetition.
Garrison's
And
going
then
to learn more in that 7 minutes than what he has in the 3 years he's been sitting in catering in AEW.
And if Edge would have won that match, everybody would have been like, why'd Adam have?
Wait, what?
Somebody cut Chris off.
Yeah, what'd you say?
What'd you say?
Step on
His
your
stuff
mute
is
button.
messing up too.
Can you hear me?
There you
Yes.
go.
Okay. I said, like, if he would have won that match in a minute, everybody would have been pissed off that he did a squash match.
Yeah.
It's a lose-lose situation.
I don't think 5 stars matter.
No, it don't.
Are they great to talk about? Yeah. Match of the year candidates, yeah, it's good fodder. But at the end of the day, like Jason normally says on this show, what do you remember more, the moments or the matches? People remember the moments more than the matches. So if that's the case, then 5 stars definitely don't matter.
Exactly.
Mm.
All right. Anybody got anything else? We're an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 43 minutes into the show.
Feels like old times.
Brokey. That's tremendous. All right. That's the pod for this week. Thanks for tuning in, rocking with us. Again, watch TNA tonight. Don't miss out. It's going to be a really good show, top to bottom. Okay. As always, hit us up on social media at DunmarksPod. Head on over to ProWrestlingTees.com/DunmarksPod. Pick up some merch. Give you a live shout out on air. Head on over to or email the show at DunmarksPod@gmail.com. Anything that I missed?
Spotify.
YouTube. Check the bell. Subscribe. Spotify. Subscribe. Drive the numbers up. Let the naysayers know 2024 is the year.
That shit's in Pacific Ocean, my man.
Taquan, it's coming. We had to order it through Temu, so it's going to take about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And some tanker on the sea. We gave it some third world country.
Don't worry, we will get it out to you. Not gonna pull back on our end of the bargain. Okay, I had some stuff coming on the last couple weeks, and it's prevented me from ordering it sooner than later. But you will get it out. Don't worry.
He's old now, Ty. He forgets.
I sponsored the kid in Africa for you. He has it. Martin Luther King Day.
No, we're on ProWrestlingTees.com. What are you talking about, Taquan? Yeah, Jason's going to get you to donate 65 cents a day or $19 a month. We'll send you a Dubmarks podcast blanket for sponsoring your favorite wrestler. Oh man! All right, that's the show. We'll get your merch out, Taquan. Okay. All right.
We got positivity for the week.
Yeah, we do got some positivity of the week. Let me get it pulled up here 1 second.
We staying positively positive?
Yeah. Absolutely. We're gonna keep this train rolling.
I had a dream today.
Yeah.
The word.
No, this is short, sweet, simple, right? Everyone is gifted, but not everyone opens their present. Everyone is gifted, but not everyone opens up their present. Pay attention to your gifts, open them up, share them with the world, make it a better place. Until next time, I'm a Mark, you're a Mark, tell a Mark. Y'all can catch us around the way.
That's a pause.
Bye-bye.